The basic view is a central and a fundamental sutra. The Buddha delivered in the middle length sutra, and it builds the basic for every practice. This is fundamental. We talk about 4 elements. You have to understand this one first before you can do the 4 frame of contemplation. So what is the basic view? Basic view is simple. This is the truth. And it is a foundation. Very simple, like concrete. And it's true. And it laid out the foundation to build the house or to build the knowledge. The Buddha using the symbols, very vivid symbol, which is 4 elements: earth, water, fire, wind, or air. He said everything constituted by the earth, water, fire, air, or wind. Our body is the same. We have only 4 elements: earth, water, fire, wind. If one of them changes, we suffer. Any of them change, we suffer. And usually it's a sequential change. One change will cause a domino change on the other. So change, lead to dukkha, suffering. In the basic view sutra, that's the basic, every monk must know. Because if you don't know, you cannot practice correctly. Our body is constituted only by earth, water, fire, wind. It's the labor. It's a concept. It's not a material. Earth is not the material. Earth is a concept. When the Buddha says earth, he means hard or soft. So when we talk about earth, we know hard and soft. We are not talking about material. We're not talking about calcium. We're not talking about rice. We're talking about the soft and hard, softness and hardness. I give you one example. In a meal, rice. When you put the rice in your mouth, it's hard. You choose it for say 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It becomes soft. The rice by its nature has no relevant factor or relevant bearing on the hard and soft. Hard and soft is your feeling about it. Your feeling about the nature or the changing nature of the earth. Changing from hard to soft. Water is not the matter. It's not the material. No. Water stick together or disassociate. We call associate or disassociate. Or disassociate. So it's a function of the material. It's not about the material itself. It's not about the material itself, but it's a function of the material. Similarly, when we talk about fire, it's not the material, the fire burning, no. We're talking about hot or cold. Everything is just relevant and temporal, because the change of the nature, the same thing, but they change the nature. I give you one example of fire. You say hot, how do you know hot? Say 100 degrees Celsius. You say hot, and in the fridge you got 0 degrees Celsius. You say cold. Usually we say that's cold. It's hot. But something like the warm water, say 40 degrees Celsius. Water. We try to drink in the morning. We keep the warm water. Too hot we cannot drink. Too cold it's no good. So we keep it warm water. So how do you measure hot and cold? This one hotter than this one, but colder than this one. Am I right? So it's just provisional, depending where you stand. By definition, it just gives you some idea so that you can practice. It's nothing to do with the reality. It's something to do with your perception. You put your finger into the water, you see it hot or cold, depending on you. You can say to people, another people, it's hot. But if I put it in, I say, it's cold. Some people, Eskimo people living in the North Pole, they usually live under the minus 30 degrees Celsius. And to them that's usual. But to us, too cold, freezing, we cannot tolerate. So it's just the circumstances, the environment, the habit, everything constituted the definition. But we know, so that we can practice. We know what it is. Earth, water, fire, or wind. It's just a description. It's not a material. We understand it. So the basic view, when we see our body, we see it's constituted only by hard, soft, associate, disassociate, hot and cold. It's nothing to do with the material. It's nothing to do with the hair, the eyes, the ears, no. It's only hot and cold, associate, disassociate. And if we know, it always changes. Morning, afternoon. When you don't drink the water, you are dehydrated and you feel your body terrible, disassociate. But when you drink a lot of water, you have a good feeling about the association, something linking together. You have the energy. The fact that we have the energy or not is irrelevant to our feeling, whether we have the energy or not. It's so different. The material and the conceptual view is so different. So the basic view is we have to know we are constituted only by earth, water, fire, and wind. And every change in the element, in any element or state of the element, will cause dukkha. Why? Because we are attached to it. We get used to it. Every day we get used to taking bath. If today there's no water, we don't have water. You cannot have a bath. You cannot take a bath. How do you feel? Terrible. Too hot, no water, and my body is dirty. You feel upset. You feel angry. You see? The feeling is not relevant to the material fact. Why you feel suffer when any of them change, any of these change? Because you have association with the self. Have association with the self. That's me, that's mine. I want to take a bath. And today there's no water. And today 42 degrees Celsius from the morning until now. Oh, sweat. Terrible. I don't want to meditate anymore. It's too hot. So you suffer because you have association with the self. And you forget one thing, yourself is constituted only by the four elements, earth, water, fire, and wind. In actual fact, only your body constituted by hard, soft, hot, and cold, associate, disassociate. But you forget that. You think, here, hair, eyes, nose, that's my eyes, my nose. But you look at the four elements which Buddha prescribed for you. It's only the activity on the nature of the feeling. Soft, hard, hot, cold. And because you are indoctrinated in your mind, are mentally programmed in your mind to view the nature of your body. So you stick with that view. You say, my body, that's my nose, that's my face, that's my intelligence, that's my view. And how can you form the view? Only through eyes, ear, nose. And somebody tell you, you have the beautiful eye, happy. You see? Somebody say, you stupid, upset, angry. That's why we study Abhidhamma. See? To understand that nature, label it a name, to understand it. But after you study it, you have to drop it. Everything drop it to come back to reality. Because everything changed, but you stick to the point that you establish yourself. You say, I'm here. And if something in contradiction with your view, you feel upset. You forget one thing is everything, earth, water, fire, wind, always change, dynamic change. It's impermanent. Even the earth, hard and soft change. I give you one example already. When you eat rice, eat a meal, you have rice. Put in your mouth, it's hard. Choosing it for 2 minutes, it's soft. The question here is, rice hard or soft? If it's hard, it must be hard forever. And why we choose it, put in our mouth for 2 minutes, keep chewing, 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 and then it becomes soft. We say it's soft. Master, it's no longer hard. So, the hard and soft in our body always change. Hot and cold always change. But we stick to our view that we have the self. I am. Me. I. That's a conceptual framework. The idea which is mentally programmed from the childhood. When you are born, you don't know. In the first few days, you don't know. You just eat, sleep, drink milk and sleep. But when you open your eyes, in the next few days, you see a lady smiling at you, the vibration, and that lady give you milk. And then you, because she gives you milk, you got a feeling appreciated immediately. And because she gives you something which satisfy your hungry, you are happy. You're happy because your hungry is satisfied, and you develop the chitta. Chitta liking her. So when you're hungry, you look toward her for satisfaction. Because she is the source giving the milk to you. You say, Mommy, I'm hungry. When you're about 2, you go to toilet, I'm sorry. You don't know how to do it. Mommy, I got a problem. You see? When you're falling down, you get hurt. Mommy, I'm hurting. You don't know how to solve the problem. You rely on her. From the childhood until now, so you develop attachment, liking, because she's supporting you. She solves your problem, daily problem, everything. Even the music you feel sad, she comforts you. She solves your mental and physical problem. She develops the liking attitude. Liking and attachment. Therefore, you have the view about her. It's my mommy. If somebody telling me my mommy is no good, I don't want to associate with that person. Because my mommy is always good. From the childhood, I'm hungry, she gives me food, milk. When I'm falling down, she nurtures me, she comforts me. When I get upset, she cares for me. And if somebody telling me about bad thing about herself, I just did associate with that person, regardless how good that person is. You see? Because you form a conviction on that object, and you cannot change. That object can be your mommy, just through my example, that mommy, another example is food, drink, or ideology, whatever you think in your mind, you learn. Buddha is different from God. God is different from Buddha. But up to my level, I can tell you there's no distinction between God and Buddha. Like here, hot and cold, it's just relevant. Where you stand. Where you stand. You cannot say, according to the Sutta, say Buddha is not God, God is not Buddha. To me, it's irrelevant. Why? Because I am what I am. I suffer. My suffer is not relevant to the Buddha or God. Nobody can help me. If I come into the samsara, nobody can help me. I have to find a way to get out of samsara. The Buddha already showed me the way. Okay, that greed, anger, illusion, drop it and get out. If I do, I get out. The Buddha cannot pick me up from the muddy state and put me in the nirvana. No, it doesn't do it. I know for sure. So God or Buddha is irrelevant to me. God doesn't help me. Only show me the way. Map here from A to B. I have to go. I have to work by myself on my feet. If I don't, I keep standing here. Very simple. But because I attach to the water, fire, I don't know my nature. Our earth, water, fire, wind. I keep thinking I am, me, the whole thing, the totality. Therefore, I attach to the self. I am myself. I forget one thing is everything changes. Hot and cold, hard and soft, it's just temporal, provisional. It keeps changing. 1 minute you feel sad, another minute you feel happy, it's all changing. 1 minute you want to practice to follow the Buddha, another minute you say, no, too hard, I don't want that. That happened even to me when I first in the first 10 years. It's too hard. Cleaning the toilet, reciting the sutra every day, have nothing to do except reciting the sutra, cleaning the toilet, do everything, protecting the property. And at the end of the 10 years, I ask myself, what I am doing? I want liberation, or I want to bear the burden. But now I appreciate that, because that suffering teach me a lesson about the impermanent. There's no self, but I keep thinking there is self. It's rooted in my mind for many years. So the Buddha said, if you form the correct view, the basic view about yourself, he said 3 categories of people. The first one is ordinary people, thinking the earth is the earth, water is water, fire is fire, wind is wind. Therefore, develop liking and disliking attitude. And liking and disliking attitude will be associated with the self. And when you have the self, I and me, immediately you want to protect it. Craving towards I and me, Tanga. And once you have the craving to I, the identity, you will come back to this world again and again because you like it. The environment you live, the idea, the body, everything self. But you forget it's constituted but only earth, water, fire, and wind. And look deeper in the root of the earth, you see only the movement, the transcendental, or the dynamic nature of the mind. It's nothing to do with the reality or material at all. So it keeps changing, but we don't know. We don't recognize it, or we just ignore it. The 3 guys, we know. But we are so recalcitrant. We don't accept it. I know it's hard and soft, but I don't like it. I don't want to talk about it. That's it. No, but recalcitrant. Second one is don't know. I don't know. The earth is only hard and soft. I think earth is the earth, the material. I don't know. That's called ignorance. So if you know but you don't accept it, and you don't know, you commit a mistake. The same consequence. And as soon as you have association with the self, establish yourself, and you forget about the even self, subject to change, impermanent, because hot and soft, hot and cold keep changing. In your body, it keeps changing. But you say, my body, my mind, my idea. You stick to it. And when anything changes, you suffer. So Buddha said, the ordinary people will say, earth is earth, water is water, and in the earth there is self, myself, I. Therefore you like it, and when it changes, you suffer. That's why you don't have the samadhi, you don't have a proper perspective. In English, some version they call right view. One of the 8 noble paths. Right view. Pardon? Yeah, but normally they say right view. Some say proper view, but I say proper perspective. Where you stand, you see, when I stand here, I see the flowers different. But if you stand over there, you see the same flower, but a different description. By analogy, the Buddha talking about the 5 blind men, describing the elephant, depending on which part they touch and describe the elephant accordingly. So in this case, because we have ignorance, we don't know the fact, and we are touched to the self because we like it. We don't know that earth, water, fire, wind is only the movement or the nature or the function of the material. It's not the material itself, but the function of the material. And it keeps changing. Therefore, we are attached to it. When it changes, we suffer. Called dukkha. Come back to Four Noble Truths. Dukkha is governed by the ignorance. We don't know, we suffer. We don't know, therefore we say, I am beautiful. But when we getting old, we suffer. I'm healthy, but when you get sick, you feel suffer. Suffer means dukkha. It's not suffering. Is not the correct translation. It's a mental dissatisfaction with the association of the thing or the circumstances or the events. So the basic view, the normal, ordinary people stick to, attached to their body. They say, earth is my earth, my water. And earth change, they suffer. The Arahant, differently. Arahant from the different view. Arahant say, earth is not mine. Therefore it changes, or it doesn't change, irrelevant to me. Because he doesn't have the identity of the self. So he doesn't suffer because of the change. The Buddha said, that's Arahant who know, that means the proper perspective. Samadhi, know the environment, know the change, know the mind, know the feeling. In English, usually they say Chitta, they translate mind. Chitta is translated into English as mind. Chitta can change. The view can change. So that's why we don't say right or view or wrong view, because it keeps changing. When I'm standing here, I see the flower differently. If I change my position, I see the flower differently. I have a different description. And of course, I will have a different feeling about what I see. When I see here, I only see the leaf. I say, oh, flower contain only leaves, no good. But when I change my position over there, I say, oh, beautiful, the color. I develop liking. Here, disliking, over there, liking. Only the same flower, the same me. So I say, self is not true. Arahant is the one who knows the nature of here, the dynamic, and not attaching to the 4 elements. And because not attaching to the element, self is not associated. And the impermanent or dynamic changing nature of the material become irrelevant. Therefore, not suffering. That's called proper perspective. The Buddha sitting beside a buffalo, and a thunderstorm killed the buffalo. And people ask, do you know that? Buffalo just died. He said, no, I don't know. Because it's irrelevant. And when he meditates, he knows self not existing. So whatever happens surrounding is irrelevant. He doesn't pay attention at all. Not even one single attention. Only focusing on inside, not outside. Vipassana is focusing inside. Okay. Any question? That's a basic view. To formulate the foundation for tomorrow, we will talk about the 4 frames of contemplation. Contemplate the body, the feeling, the mind, the phenomenon. But we have to know this one first. That's the basic. If you don't know, you don't appreciate, you cannot penetrate through to improve the knowledge. You cannot go into the forefront of conference. You sit there and breathing in, breathing out. And I saw many literature say breathing meditation. May I remind you, there is no such thing as a breathing meditation. Buddha never teach you. Never Buddha in his life teach about the breathing meditation. He said mindfulness in breathing. That's the difference. You develop the mindfulness. You not develop the breathing. When you have to go, you go faster. You breathe more. Breathing in more. Breathing out more. Faster. But you know you are doing faster. That improves your knowledge. You control. You are in a position to manage. You are not controlled by ignorance or recalcitrant. I know, but I'm so stubborn. I stuck with my idea. I don't care what people say. Recalcitrant means that I know you say it's right. What you say is right, but I don't care. That's recalcitrant. It's happened to you as well, to me as well. Sometimes my master say blah 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 something. I say, I know it's right, but I don't care because I form my view. It happened to me, and sometimes I know it's wrong. I keep reflection. In the Buddha time, the same happened. Some of his disciples have formed the view in contradiction with the Buddha. Even though the Buddha go out and talk to them, they say, no, I listen to the Buddha. I know, Master, you say what you say. I know what you say is right. But I still believe that in my view. One of the famous case, one monk say, people have the soul. When you die, the soul transmitted to another body, so you call rebirth or reincarnation. Whatever you do, whatever you feel, will be transmitted through soul to another body. Buddha say, no, it's nothing like that. But he said, yes, I listen to you, I know what you say. But I know what you say. But I still form the view what I believe. I cannot change. And then the Buddha said over to the monk, forget him. Don't talk to him anymore because no point. He got the conviction in his mind. I'm not saying right or wrong, but he formed the view. And that view cannot change. Therefore, he forget about the impermanent. Everything is impermanent. And he formed the view that permanent in his view, that's conviction. You waste your time. We are coming here for liberation. We are not coming here to argue or liking or disliking or form the view. So it's up to you. That's why the Buddha, the basic view, sutra, in the mid-length sutra, the Buddha teaching very clear. He said, look at your body, only 4 elements, and it keeps changing. And because you are attached to the body, my eye, my ear, my nose, beautiful. And when you getting old, it change the nature, you suffer. Why am not beautiful as I was when I was 20? You suffer because you don't know the changing, impermanent nature state. And that's because you have the wrong view. You don't have the proper perspective. You got the ditthi, not the samadhi. That's the basic one. Arahant, no, very clear. Penetrate the truth, very clear. So he not associate with the wrong view and he's not suffer when the thing change. Okay. Any question? If no question, we dedicate. Venerable, can you dedicate? Make a dedication. Pray to the Buddha. We close it. You say whatever. Don't attach to word, because if I put a touch name and the label, it has a meaning, and you keep attaching to it.